Hi gang, this is Hexy. Let's talk about Medwar, Sicily. I did not realize but this is a Richard Berg game. I should treasure this thing. Okay, well, I'm gonna be straight honest with you. It didn't really reach out and say, "Hey, I'm a super game." However, if you want something that seems like to me like it plays pretty quick. It's got a different approach. There's no combat results table. You have dice rolls. Um, Motorized or mechanized units, the ones that have these red movement point values. For every attack factor you got, you might have your modifier is not going to be a die roll. It's going to be the number of die you roll. So like, if that little 212 unit right there, Italian armor, attacked that infantry on a roll of 5 or 6 on 2 dice, each 5 or 6 you get is a hit. And a hit is, much like a tabletop game, it is a step loss to the unit you're attacking. And it works in reverse for the defenders too. Non-motorized or mechanized units, the ones with black movement factors, they only hit on a roll of a 6. So it can be not quite a bucket of dice, but close to a bucket of dice. And that's how you take step losses. Now the units can be rebuilt by spending what they call resource points, which the allies get 3 every turn. And you can either use them to refit a unit to bring it back in, or you can use points to draw resource cards or opportunity cards. And then you can play those. Like a lot of games, you have, hey, maybe you get an airstrike, maybe you get an extra move or some supply or something like that. But that's how it works. There's no 1-to-1, 2-to-1, 3-to-1, 4-to-1. You get your die roll modifiers, again, are like the terrain may say, okay, if you're attacking into this terrain, you lose 1 dice for each unit. If he's a strength point of 2, you lose 1 dice. He'll only get to roll 1 dice instead of 2. So that's how that works. Right? So this is Sicily. This is the Allies. Before going into Italy, they need to clear off the Sicily here, and I have to assume that so they could have airfields and a launching point for the assault into Italy in later months. So I want to play 2 turns, and it looks like every turn is 2 days, which would explain some things. Now, I always thought that the Brits and the Canadians had a hard time over here with Syracuse and going up the coast. Well, I'm already at Catania, after the first 2 turns. Now there's some decent German units or Axis units in there, but I don't know. It seemed like to me like they got there too fast. Whereas the Americans are a little more bottled up, a little slower approach. But if they get 1 stack knocked out of the way, they're going to shoot up these roads like crazy. So the Axis were spread out all over the island. And of course, naturally, the first thing you got to do is start moving them in here to stop the invasion, to stop the spread. The Axis don't get many reinforcements. You see the ones on the top there is all they get. And the Allies get quite a bit. So it plays pretty smooth. It's a different combat results table. Not the typical game that I'm going to play over and over and over again. Of course, you know me, I don't really play any game over and over and over again. I mean, there's a few that I would, like any OCS game, I'm sure I would. But this is a lightweight. Seems like it's pretty quick. If I sit down here tonight, I'm pretty sure I could play the whole game tonight in just a few hours. But I can't do that. I have to play 3 or 4 at a time to keep the brain working, keep the creative juices flowing. All right, so anyhow, this is Medwar, Sicily. This is 2009 from Worthington Games. Don't even go to their site to look for it because you won't find anything on it. It is Richard Berg. It's funny because this is the first World War II game I know that I ever had that wasn't. This is the first Richard Berg game that I have that wasn't an American Civil War game. There, I got all that out. Game does have weather, can slow movement down. It has supply, which is pretty simple. Has air interdiction, which I haven't found a use for that yet. I'm sure somewhere along the gameplay I will. I think you have to have cards to do that. And each side has 10 cards. And like I say, they cost 1 resource point to buy. But it seems to me that the Axis got to spend all their points on rebuilding units to bring them back in as reinforcements. All the German reinforcements come up here at Messina. They do have an option for an airborne drop if it's a Fallschirmjäger or a parachute unit, whatever. So they do have some pretty decent armor compared to the Allies. And you gotta use them. You gotta plug holes with them. That's for sure. All right, so once again, Medwar, Sicily, Worthington Games. We played through the first 2 turns. We're gonna grind it out a couple more turns, see how it progresses, and then I'll debate whether I continue to play this or get something else on the table. All right, let's get this up so y'all can give me some opinions on this. If you played this thing, let me know what you thought of it. Should I just go ahead and take it down, or should I continue to play it? I could go either way right now, but let's hear what y'all have to say about that. All right, talk to y'all soon.